Hi everyone, welcome. Thanks for stopping by my channel. Today I'm sharing a journal that's similar to one that I finished a couple of projects ago using Nazi of Amity Bloom's snippet and washi tape method to make like large snippet rolls, which I had turned into a junk journal, and then a little companion journal that went with it. And this one is similar. I just wanted to do another cover like this, which is in a video that Nazi on Amity Bloom. So anyway, I used some Amity Bloom digitals, as well as Sweetpea Curiosities, the Time Touch textile, and the haberdashery kits. And I think I have some Raindrop Lilac in here, and some Sam Poole haberdashery or her French haberdashery bits. And I believe I have some of the Dressmaker's Sketchbook by Dodie of Dorothy Jane Papery, amongst bits and pieces that I tossed in that I already had printed out. So let's get started on this. And I did do it on a hardcover. And it's just a sewing, like if you watch the video that's similar to this one a couple videos ago, it was about grandma who was getting together supplies, turned it into a journal for her granddaughter, or her great-granddaughter, Rose. And she just wanted to pass on her love of stitching, so she just put together a book with little supplies and stuff in it and ideas to get her interested. So for the under the back and the front cover, I just used a really pretty embroidered doily that I recently purchased at an estate sale, and I just used it as a pocket. I didn't want to cut it, so I just tucked in a nice piece of journaling paper in the front. And this is called The Keeper of Soft Things, and these are some cards. I do have to add the little strings to them. Just little journaling cards of a couple of tags that I had made in a program, and just tucked in a little pocket. And this piece of little vintage applique with a couple of mother pearl buttons, I just added some pieces that mimicked embroidery on linen. And it's just random little different sizes, which are a lot of fun when you just have something like a date or something that you want to document. And this is just an old doily, and the directions from an old stitchery book, and a couple samples of fabrics, which is a journaling card. I just put in some random little pieces. This is a new one, actually, from Chapter 1 Papers. It's a number 4 washi, and she gives you, or they give you, beautiful cards to go with it. And well, you'll just have to see. It's a newer release in their Etsy shop. And under here, there's a little piece of French trim, and I just tucked in a couple little journaling cards in there. And in this pocket, a couple big journaling cards. What I like to do with my journals is write down poems and quotes that I find interesting. And sometimes you just need a small journaling card or a small space, and sometimes you need a full, nice size. These are the papers that I made in an AI program messing around, and it's laces, fabrics, and embroidery, and I use them throughout the book. A little piece of vintage lace and some of Bloom tape, and this is just a little piece of vintage lace tucked away in there to make a slide. Another piece of fabric swatch card for a journaling card, and a little girl with a couple little dresses that her grandmother possibly made for her. And this is just a doily, printed doily for some hidden journal space. I did leave a lot of space for journaling. And in this pocket, I put in a couple of a postcard and a really pretty journaling card, and a lady at her spinning wheel knitting yarn. Well, she's making yarn actually. And a little piece of pattern paper, and a couple nice sheets of paper to journal on, and a little tissue paper with some embroidery patterns on it, and a vintage lady, and Rhonda of A Little Bit French, her little idea with these cabochon backings. Oops. Oh, I totally missed it. Well, we'll deal with that later. Oh, this was on the other side. It's a card with a little piece of the French trim, a little sample, and some more journaling cards and some smaller ones. And these, I don't know if any of you had purchased these Moo cards, M-O-O, from several years ago, but I purchased them for my, when I was selling silk ribbon embroidery and different crazy quilt kits several years back. But I put for my cards, I put all my information on the back, but on the fronts I always put pieces of my work, like a piece of a purse, a crazy quilted purse or something. I would just capture small sections of it and put it on the Moo cards. And so I backed these in vintage yellowed paper, and I thought they'd be neat tucked in the sewing journals for a little spot to jot a note. And this little girl could be removed to write on the back. And this is one of my little flower pens, a little stick pen with the little rose on top that you can take out and use. This is more of my paper. I don't know why, but I really like that torn piece with the lace underneath. And another, I believe this is Sam. I know this is Sam Poole's. It's a stitchery school that the ladies are all learning to stitch. And this is just an old ad, again, from an embroidery book. And more embroidery journaling cards. Another little piece of fiberglass yard goods. I don't know what that would be for. Maybe outdoor upholstery. I don't know. More journaling cards in different sizes. Oh, and another fan. I did make another fan like I did in the first book. This was actually a little freebie from the Featherweight company. I had joined the club because I received a couple of featherweights from a friend, and I just wanted to know more about them. So anyway, this was one of the little printable giveaways. So I enjoy printing them, or putting them together. A little vintage button there. A little piece of Bloom tape. A piece of ruffled fabric. And this little girl's photo comes out as a journaling card. A piece of trim and some cotton fabric. And here's a journaling card and a little lace sample, which is getting all crunched up. I have to fix that. And little girl, she's just a journaling card, but I put on some real mother of pearl buttons. And I created this belly band and added some little pearls and a applique and a little bling to hold some journaling cards. And over here, this is one of my pages, and I put a little lace trim, mother of pearl button, and then a couple of little dresses for journaling cards that belong to her. And this just flips up for journaling space. And here's another little girl that you can put your own, you can put a piece of trim there, or just leave her as a little bookmark, a little note card, or string a little bit of buttons across. Some more pretty journaling cards. Tucked in this little pocket with a little piece of lace and a mother of pearl button. And in this little tuck spot, I've got 2 pieces of pretty paper from my my personal digitals. And I don't know who sent this to me. And I know someone had to, because I'm too lazy to change my thread, and this is a gray or a pale blue thread. But it was pretty neat, and I thought it should go in here because it's stitched with a zigzag. And a little piece of vintage lace. Some more journaling cards. Yours is has some fabric samples on it. And this little belly band zipper holds this little card. And some music sheet, and I did print out some of my own washi to put on here in a needlepoint pattern. And in this little piece of lace, I put this little girl with some seam binding, the tiny little safety pin. And here's another one of my Moo cards, one of my projects. That was a purse backed with the paper so you can jot a note. And these are just tiered journaling cards with this pretty vintage clothes hangers and lace. And this just holds journaling cards tucked in this little trim, and this is the Sweetpea Curiosities. I think it's the haberdashery. And under this belly band, some more, I've got them wedged in there, just some more journaling cards, some pretty ones. And this is an envelope I covered, and I used this little trim, printed trim, which is a Sweetpea Curiosities, I believe, for these little journaling cards. And inside are more larger journaling cards and a piece of Bloom tape. And in here, in a smaller version of a Sam Poole image or photo of the sewing school, I put in these pretty journaling cards. Plenty space to write, some trim. You can remove this to journal on the back. And this embroidered alphabet is just a flip. And on this side are some more of my cards for journaling, which I love because of the little embroidered flowers. And this is a vintage hanky, which I had dyed. It's a linen, and I had used part of it, and that was left over, so I just glued that on and put a piece of Bloom tape. Every vintage hanky holds a quiet story. And this is just a little glassine bag that I decorated with Bloom tape, and then added one of my tags in a pretty little embroidered paper, which all of the pages are printed on the linen. And another little scrap, and then another with my moo cards. They just fit right down inside that little bag, which I'll do later. And under here, I thought these were interesting. They're just little pieces that I cut out of a collaged paper. They're little pieces of vintage hankies. And a whole little bundle of nice journaling cards. So this could be given to somebody who's just beginning to stitch, or someone who you want to introduce stitching to in the family, or a friend. And this is just a vintage piece of music paper with a cross-stitch design washi tape. And washi tape on this side, and here's some extra washi tape to play with, and then a nice large journaling card. And here is a journaling card and a swatch sample, which is a journaling card. And under here is another vintage sewing book or project book page, along with some samples of lace, vintage laces for a journaling card. And then this little girl that's got a piece of really old tatting, and I used the tape that it was attached to on an index card in a book that a friend had given me. So I just put the whole thing in here. But it's such a delicate little tatted design in purple, yellow, and white. Well, what used to be white. It is now yellowed. And some washi. And another lace sample journaling card, along with a few other different sized cards. And this large pocket is a stitchery design with a piece of antique trim, lace trim. And that goes in this pocket. And another piece of a sample card of old lace, and some regular journaling cards. And this is the back, and I did tuck in also more paper, large paper for journaling, and I believe there's some cards in there as well. And that is the journal, the sewing journal, the keeper of soft things. And with it comes this little journal, or well, it's not a journal, it's a little supply booklet. And I found this little knitted frog. I think that's what they're called, frogs, that you would use to close a cape or a blouse or something. Well, it usually takes two hands. There we go. But I thought it would be cute for closure, and then I put in a vintage Mother Pearl button and a little doily. And this was also used. This is part of the leftover cover of this one. And I just printed out the ticking. I can remember it in this video. The ticking papers. And on the front cover, I did put a couple of little pockets with some journaling cards. And this one just has a little sample of embroidery threads. I don't know if you can see through the little glassine bag, but it's sealed and I don't want to open it. It's just got yellow, pink, blue, and 3 shades of green, different types of threads. So what I did was, excuse me, losing my voice again. I just put in some threads and some trims, and some of them are French. And then I coordinated it with the some peanut beads, some sequins, and some silk ribbon embroidery, or not embroidery, silk ribbon. And then I did it in blue, and I did it in the pink, and the silk ribbon, and the sequins, and the peanut beads, and then the green, and the trim, and the silk ribbon, and the peanut beads, and the sequins. There's a couple little butterfly sequins in there. And then I added some charms, a little thimble and little sewing supply charms. And in this little envelope, which I believe is my porch prints, I put in some little Mother of Pearl buttons, a little ticket. It's just Velcroed. Just keep it in there. Tucked in a little vintage lace from France. And in here I put in some washi tape in this pocket. And this is just a little, all of this is removable by Velcro. It's just a little notebook. Very simple, basic little notebook. And then some of the French sequins, the puffy ones, which are made with the gelatin. There's a couple little hearts in there and a little variety. And then I put in some lace samples. This one is old. This one's not that old, and this is a newer lace. And then a blank page to put whatever you want else, what else you might want. And then some small little journaling cards, like a ticket, a dress, a little a marking wheel, just for little notes. And that is it. That's what I have just completed, and getting ready to start another. I'm going to be in quite a bit because today is the start of our 90-some degree days. We're going to have a little heat wave, which is fine with me. So anyway, I appreciate everybody who stayed to the end and who liked this video, and those of you who have subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you. And to the newbies, or if you're just stopping by, I appreciate you spending some time with me. So I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I hope it's cooler than it is here. Thank you. Bye-bye.